Afternoon, guys. Vlogging on the balcony. Vlogging on my balcony. Well, the storm has gone over, which is great. So today it's going to be my final video on buying. So today we're going to be talking about buying land in the Philippines and what do you need to know. Well, I've got some pictures I'm putting at the end of this vlog, and they are pieces of land either in a subdivision or on Davao streets or on Samal or at Toril or at Puan or at Parabu or at Carmen. Okay, so what you have to understand is that in Davao City, okay, the land prices have gone down 7.41% in the last 12 months. Now, I don't know whether that's COVID-19, I don't know whether that's the way Duterte has set up his government, I don't know whether that's... I don't know. I cannot find any information. However, on Samal Island, land prices have gone up 8.61%. And that is the indicator of where people would like to live. And I think people want to live on Samal Island because there's a new road coming and there is better infrastructure getting to Samal Island. And I think the 8% increase is also aligned with the fact that it's cheaper to buy in Samal Island than it is to buy in Davao City. So there is going to be this increase because people can move their monetary gains that are in Davao across to Samal, which is only 2 miles away. So the things you need to look for when you're buying land. One, the land needs to be free title. It needs to be a title that is being sold. Quite a few times in the Philippines, families will own parts of the lot. So if it's say a 100 square meter lot, 4 family members might own a piece of that. So that's 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. What you need to understand is you need to get rid of each one of those people that own the plot because they all want a piece of money. Okay, so what you need to do is find a plot of land that's owned by one person. 2, you need to make sure that the plot of land has a clean title, access to water, access to electricity, and access to drainage. Because those 3 services are very expensive to bring into your land. Now, you can buy cheap land either in Samal or in Davao city area, outside in the provinces, but it's not near a road, it's not near electricity, it's not near water, and it's not near drainage. Now, great, you can put in a septic tank, perfect, but you need water, and you don't want to be tanking in water. You want water to come from a meter that is either damoy or it's from a regular water source that runs. You don't want to bore a hole to turn around and put water in. So you need to make sure that is covered off. So point 1, it's free title and it doesn't have any tax assigned to it, because if the tax is assigned to it, that tax could be more worth, but you could pay more for the tax than you pay for the land, because somebody might not pay the yearly tax on the meterage of property. Okay, now a ballpark figure, 12 months ago in Davao it was 25,000 pesos a square meter in Davao. As of this year, it's around 20,000 square meter. However, if you are a foreigner, it will go upwards to 100,000 pesos a square meter. So a little bit different, guys, a little bit different. Anyway, so that's point 1 and point 2. Point 3, you can buy a lot in a subdivision, which is pretty good. However, there is a value that's been added to that plot to pay for the loan and everything else that the subdivision has actually paid for to begin with. Now, in Davao, there's a subdivision called Las Terraza, which is up on the mountains overlooking Davao. A 250 to 300 square meter plot is 8.5 million pesos. No house. The services are there, but you have to have all the services connected, and then you have to go through all the legal part of it. And you also need to make sure, don't trust the subdivision management team, you need to make sure you check the tax, because they might not have paid tax on that land, and they think it's your responsibility if you're buying that to pay the tax. So that's La Terraza. There is another one called Cataluna Grande, and that's at the end of this video. It's 1,800,000 for a 250 square meter plot on a corner. Okay. Check for the taxes. The services are there, the road is there, the water is there, and the drainage is there, but it's on a corner. Okay, so you need to make sure that it's not in a flood area. So that's point 3. Point 4, find a place, find the land where you would like to live for the next 20 odd years. Because when you buy land here in the Philippines, people don't sell it. It's to be handed down to family. It's not like in the Western world where you buy it, it's an investment, the money goes up and then you turn around. No, it's very difficult to buy land here. It's very easy to buy land. The process is difficult and all the add-ons are difficult. So you need to understand what those issues are. So that's point 4. Point 5. I like Samuel Island. But there are some plots there that are, I've looked at. I looked at the one this week. It was 200 square meters. It had a concrete base with a nipa hut on the top of it, and they wanted 500,000 pesos, which is around $10,000. Okay, you can buy property for 350,000 pesos, which is around $6,000. Okay. What you need to understand is you need to check everything else that's in the background. Okay. Now you're not allowed to buy the land. You need to make sure you've got a Filipina or a Filipino that will buy the land for you. It's just started to rain, and then you have to go through those processes. So I've got some bits written down here that I need to go through. Okay. So first thing you need to turn around and do is you need to go to the RDO office to check the land is free title and there's nothing owed on the land. Don't believe the person that's selling it. You need to go to the office, and that will take you around 6 hours. When you buy the land, it needs to be free title. It needs to turn around and have a DAS certificate. Okay, it needs a DAS certificate, and that is a notarized deed of sale absolute, and it needs to come with 2 copies. Okay, so that's that. You also need to make sure that you have a CAR, which is a certificate something registration, okay, on the land. Okay, that needs to be in that process. Okay, you need to have a TIN number. The TIN number is a tax number on the land that you can actually check to make sure all the taxes have been paid. Okay, and I'll get to at the end of this. There's quite a few things that need to happen. Then there's a transfer certificate, a TCT, if you're doing land. If you're doing condominium, it's something totally different. So TCT is what you need for the land transfer. Okay, and then you need a land registration. Is your final port of call. So when you've got all that paperwork and you've gone through all of those steps and all of those hurdles with the BRD, the tax office, the assessor's office, the notarization office, then you need to register your land. Remember, you will not own the land until you have gone to the land registration office and you have completed all of the paperwork and paid the fees. Okay, that's not the fees for the land or to the person you're buying from. This is to register the land. A lot of people here forget to do the land registration, which is the final step. And that final step means you own the land. Then you are responsible for the tax, the water, the electricity, the services, and anything that goes wrong with that land. So that land, if it's yours, you will put like a little concrete post in one corner. You will have it mapped out on the land registry, and that is your plot. Nobody can encroach into that because you registered it. If you don't register it, 2 years down the road, somebody could encroach into your land, and you will then just have a one-to-one argument with that person because you don't have a title, you don't have a land registry documentation to say what is yours. What is yours? So, buy the land, go to the RDO office, find out what the tax is, find out what is owed on the land. Don't pay it, go back to the person that's selling it and get them to pay that tax. Okay, they've owned the land, why should you pay the tax on the land that they've owned? Because when you do that, what you have to understand is that the tax office then will go to that person and turn around and say you haven't paid the bill, and they will start giving that person pressure, and that person won't have money, or might not have money, and they might sell it cheaper. So raise it with the tax office. It's free for you to do. It's only when you complete your paperwork and you go through, I need to pay the tax and clear the land and put the land in your name. So if the land is going to be in my name as Garry, then I want it free of tax. I want a land registered certificate. I want a bill of sale certificate absolute. I need the plot of land registered. I need to go to, and here it is in here, the assessor's taxation office of tax clearance. And that means when you've paid your tax, you go to that man and he will write you a tax document saying that you've paid tax from the 1st of July onwards. Everything before that was the responsibility of the person that owned it before. Okay, so make sure it's a free title, make sure the tax is there. If these two are linked, they have to be linked, because if you buy the land and you then owe tax, this tax here could be 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 pesos. That's a lot of money. That will go and build you a nice concrete area or hard standing, or put a roof on what you want to build. Okay? Then you turn around and you go and you check the tax office. That would be our BIRRDO. You make sure you get a tax number in your name, a TIN number in your name. You get a DAS, which is a deed of sale absolute. You get your TCT transfer certificate from the person you're buying from to the person to you. And then you take all of that to the land registry office, not tomorrow, not the next day, today. Because until it's registered, it's not yours. And that person could actually, as a scam thing, that person could actually sell that land again to somebody else to get the value twice. And then it's down to you two people to get your money back from the person you've actually paid. So you get down to the tax office straight away. Okay? My suggestion would be that you get yourself a solicitor, yourself, and the person that's selling the land, and you all go together to the tax office and to the land registration, because if there's any questions to be asked, then the previous owner can answer. Make it a little family gathering. Don't you just keep doing all the running around, because as I found in this country, there are thousands of questions people ask, and you need this person here to answer for you. you are going to buy this piece of land, but what's the questions that are going to be asked up to here? This bit you can answer questions because you're going to own the land, but the questions that are being asked here from this person who may have owned the land for 10 years or 15 or 20 years, that person needs to be part of that. If they don't want to come, then be very wary that that person could be trying to rob you, trying to fleece you. Okay, so now that's the land registry. Now, what I've been advised, and I took this information from the visa office, the SRRV visa office. If I want to buy some land here, I cannot buy the land. However, my partner, she can buy the land. Okay? Now, part of that, I can use a facility within the visa office to draft a contract, a lease. So I can buy the land, but then it's leased back to me from my partner. And this all happens in the same day, in the same office. So you buy the land, you then turn around and get a solicitor to draft up a document for a lease. So, and that lease for me could be 25 years. Okay, so I can pay for the land through my partner, and it will be in my partner's name. However, there will be a legal document that comes off the side of it that gives me control of that land for 25 years. What you need to do though is you need to pay the 25-year lease on the land, and that will stop if you have any issues going forward, that will stop the person that owns the land increasing the rent or increasing the lease on the land. So you buy the lease for 25 years. Now that could be 25 pesos. It could be 1 peso a year for the lease because she's your partner or he's your partner. And that's where it starts to get legally binding. Now the SRRV office advised that that's what they would like to see me do if I was buying land. And that is the government advising me that you turn around and you can buy land in your girlfriend's name. But if you have a falling out 10 years down the road, she gets the land, you get nothing. However, if you take out a lease on the land and you pay you agree that it's going to be 25 peso because you are going to be buying the land, you are going to be paying the money, your partner will agree to this. If she doesn't, then don't buy the land. Don't go down that route. Okay? But you can buy the land, you can pay 25 peso for the lease for 25 years. After 25 years, the land goes back to your girlfriend. Okay? Or you renegotiate the lease for an extension of 25 years. Now, I'm old. Will I be alive in 25 years? Don't know. But if I was going that route, I would turn around and make sure that I had a piece of land with a lease on it, and I paid for the lease for the entirety of the lease. Then it's mine to make decisions on until the lease expires, and that is a legal document. And that is a legal document in the Philippines. You can build a house on there, or you can build a dwelling on there because you own the lease and you can put that property in place for yourself. What you have to ask the question, will you be around in 25 years? Yeah, you can be. You can put a proviso in your lease agreement that you have the option to take the second extension from 25 on for another 20 years or another 10 years, and you get the first call on that one without any extension on value or any increase in rent on that lease agreement. So you can do that. Okay? You can do that with a house, but it's more difficult because there's land and a house. On land, if you just buy land, you can do the land lease. What you do with your house is up to you. You can build that and do whatever you want with that. So hopefully that makes some sense, really. It's a deed of absolute, TCT, or a CT, which is a condominium transfer, a CAR document, a assessor transformation taxation office form, clearance form, and then a land registry final closed document that says you own the land. So they are the 5 areas that you need to be in there. So that's a DAS, a TCT, a CAR, a ATTC, tax clearance, and then a land registry of the land in your name, your girlfriend's name, and your name. And you can put a joint name in there, and then you can turn around and get the lease documentation signed and done on the same day, and that means it's your land. There we go. Quite difficult really, but the hard part is making sure that all of the cogs in the wheel have been paid, and all of the people, there are no challenges on the sale, and that's why I said make sure there's just one person. If you're going into a subdivision, follow the same process. It's a clear process. You need to go through the steps. If the subdivision turns around and says the tax has been paid for, ask them for the TIN number and the tax clearance. You can then turn around and say to them, I'm going to the BIR RDO office to check the taxation, or you're going to the tax assessor's office to check the taxation. But if somebody hasn't paid tax on land in this country, it's the person who buys it, and it's not part of the sale. It's like some hidden veil. Like most countries in the world, people don't like paying tax, and if they can get away with not paying tax, then that's it. Once the land is sold and it's in your name, that person's going to try and say, oh no, he bought the land, he bought the tax, he bought all the problems with it. See what I mean? Pass the buck. So anyway, that's my my vlog for Sunday. There's some pictures at the end of this, and they are areas, and I put in the money. You can go on La Muda, and La Muda will turn around and give you that information. You can buy land privately here, but be very wary. And if you don't understand something, there are a couple of solicitors in Davao City that are pretty good. There's one down at the back of Town Hall. They're all based around City Hall, because it's a lot easier to get to the assessor's office and the documentation office. But remember, every piece of paperwork you have, you need 2 photocopies. Doesn't matter what it is, just get 2 photocopies of it all the time. And then keep a memory stick with all your documentation on it, so if you do go to an office, you can put it in and you can open it up and read it on the screen, but save it all onto a stick and keep it all in there. Anybody got any questions, just send the comments down below. There's some really nice land here, really nice, and it's varying in price. I saw 20 hectares on Friday for 1,800,000 pesos on Samar. It's a bit hilly, yeah, I get that, but it's land, and you can build on that land with some great views. There's some places out at Taril, they've got great land, however it floods a lot in Taril. Going up towards Eden Park, there's some property up there, there's some subdivisions being built up there, very nice, a lot cooler than here in the city, and you get that morning mist that keeps it nice and cool. At night time it will drop down to around about 12 degrees, which means you don't need an AC. Great, but you are 2 hours outside Davao City. You're in the Davao City community, but it's 2 hours driving uphill to get to one of these places in Eden Park and Kalinan. Panabu, very nice, full of banana plantations and full of that's where the prison is. If you want to live in the prison. Anyway, so only a joke. There's some nice places here, and you can buy some nice land, but remember, The only land that I know that a foreigner can buy or can get hold of legally, and I might be proved wrong, okay, but I've been to the SR visa, my visa government work office, and they turn around and said I can't own. The only place that I can actually own is my burial ground. I've got 2 6-foot holes in the ground, and it cost me 60,000 pesos, and they're mine. I can't put a dirty kitchen on it. I can't put a water supply. I can't put a toilet. I can't put a bathroom. It doesn't have really nice views. The only view is up, but when I die, it's where I can be buried. It's my plot. Yeah. So when I get buried, my headstone will read, or it has to be a flat headstone. Can't be one like this, just sitting upright. It has to be flat. I'm just going to put on there, I told you I was ill, but I own it. But they can take it back because I can't argue. Anyway, so that's the third part of my series, buying land in the Philippines. Okay, follow those 5 steps. Make sure you get the certificate on each one of those stages from the person that's selling. Ask all those questions. Get a solicitor involved, okay, or an attorney or a lawyer. Get them involved. Don't do it through a friend of a friend of a friend. Keep friends out of it. It's business. You don't want to get to the end of this journey and find that your friend and you have just been scammed out of 100,000 pesos or 6 million pesos, or as in my video, 20 million pesos is a piece of land there. Okay, like, share and subscribe. Click your notification button so you know when my videos are going to come through to you. It's a really nice day in Davao. I'm going to post another at the beginning of this, of the thunderstorm with the thunder. But enjoy and take care.